Hello fellow ARK survivors, we are once here again with Mercutian and we are going to cover the Mosasaur today. Now, the Mosasaur is the undisputed king of the ocean in ARK. As you can see, it is, again, a frankly colossal animal. It is bigger than any other species in the ocean. Now, going with this vein, it is also the most powerful. Mosasaur is simply in a class of its own. It'll destroy any tame creature you come across, and any plesio that decides to mess with you in the deep. Now, the mosasaur has a couple of really fascinating features that it shares from land-based animals. It has an ear bone that is very similar to a terrestrial lizard, unlike marine reptiles of its time. Also, although you can't see it on this animal, the mosasaur has what we call the Terminator jaw, which is essentially on the top of its top up jaw. It has a second set of jaws that, when it would crunch down to a prey item, this second set of jaws would ratchet forward, grab it, and pull it further back into the mouth, therefore allowing it to swallow very large prey, including man-sized prey, whole without any problem whatsoever. Now, the mosasaur's power comes from its tail. In this animal, you can see the tail is nearly fully half the size of the animal, which gives it a tremendous amount of power, and it would therefore steer with the paddles that it has on its arms. Now, another sense this thing would have that they believe is there are very small pits all along its snout. This would allow the real-life mosasaur to use echolocation in the same way a whale might, therefore detecting its prey in very murky water. Now, this animal is not a fish, it is a marine reptile, so it would have to come up for air. That being said, it probably had massive lungs, like this one does, and would not have to go to the surface for a very long time to breathe, and would very likely be an ambush predator. Now, sharing in the same family as a reptile, it moves side to side, as you can see. It has a very serpent or snake-like motion as it swims through the water. Now, this animal, we've had it for getting on for ever since it came out, actually. We got this thing the first day, and it is frankly incredible. It can one or two shot most plesies, and it can easily kill tame dinosaurs. I accidentally, at a PvP session, ran into an opposing player's base, and I ate through his entire sea base without having almost any damage on my mosasaur. Now, this thing is the king of the ocean. This one does not have a platform saddle, unfortunately, but that does not mean that he is any less powerful for it. He is more than capable of eating anything in the ocean, and surprisingly he has a very large hit radius. A lot of us with the plesios have trouble hitting things with that very small head. This thing can reach around almost entirely to its back to hit anything, so it's very hard for players, or wild animals for that matter, to get behind it. Now, this one is a very standard blue. We've seen them in anywhere from purples to reds to a beautiful jet black one. Now, the real-life mosasaur will probably not have such bright colours, mainly because it would have to camouflage itself in the ocean of the Cretaceous Sea where it lived, and it would be an extremely deadly animal to anything in the area. It would no doubt be the apex predator of the inner sea that was covering North America at this time. Now, as Shane's showing you, it has an incredibly serpent-like style of swimming. It moves by pushing its backbone to the side like a reptile, and therefore swims quite deep and quite far. And for an animal that its size, it is remarkably quick. And it is also super deadly. If Shane can find something to bite down on, you will see that the power of this animal is next to exceptional. There is literally nothing in the ocean except maybe another mosasaur that could take it out. That being said, the taming method we used for this guy was, as many of you know for the plesios, you go into a sea cave and you shoot his face full of crossbow bolts full of narcotic. Now, he did use a lot of narcotic. When I was taming this guy, I used about 1,000. And I had to be careful because I was doing this on my own as well. None of my tribe mates go in the water with me. And all he was fed on was raw prime meats, and it took me nearly 3 hours. But that being said, he is absolutely a fantastic mount. There is nothing in the ocean that can match him, and he is a remarkably good trilobite hunter. If you've ever seen the enormous bite radius that it has, actually crunches down on trilobites really easily, which is a feature that was lacking on the plesio. We found that you really struggle to attack something with a plesio when it is in this way.